It's really hard to remember what life was like when 1999 turned into 2000. When I try and think back, I realize that nearly everything in my life has changed. While I would like to take credit for these changes, I cannot. Advances in technology allow me to do things today that I would have thought impossible 10 years ago. Today, my daily life is constantly being reshaped by what technology enables me to do. So I took a moment and thought about what technologies have changed my life the most. Here are the top 10. For pop10.net, these are my top 10 technological advances of the decade that have changed my day-to-day life. Number 10 is the fact that I now have a GPS device in my pocket. When I drove around the country in 2001, I bought a great National Geographic Atlas of the United States. I would use it to find obscure roads, to orient myself when lost, and to locate places to camp. Today, if I made the same trip, the Atlas would stay in the trunk as a backup. My last 2 cell phones have had the ability to connect to Google Maps, which only went live in 2005. Today, on my iPhone, I can press a few buttons, know exactly where I am, and how to get directly to my destination. This allows me to walk out the door without knowing where I'm going and get there without getting lost. Number 9 is the democratization of information. When Wikipedia launched in 2001, I thought it was a joke. I laughed about the misinformation it would spread, and I was not allowed to cite it in my college papers. Today I find myself looking at it nearly every day. I even update it sometimes. Though Wikipedia is the flagship of information democratization, it is only one player among many. The fact that Google allows me to search for the most obscure reference lets me find what other people already know. I'm doing multiple searches for every entry that I'm writing about right now. Though some people still question the integrity of online democratic information, there are still plenty of textbooks that claim Christopher Columbus was a hero and not a Hitler. I think eventually democratic information compiling will lead to a more accurate understanding of the world. Number 8 on my list is global outsourcing. If you've ever called customer service, you've probably talked to someone in another country. This affects us in 3 enormous ways. First, we lose jobs in wealthier countries. Second, we lower the cost of everything from manufacturing to customer service, which translates directly into consumer saving. Third, we make our country more reliant and connected to diverse people around the globe. In the end, I think global outsourcing is making the world a much more equal place. It exposes call operators in poor nations to the norms and values and laws of wealthy nations. It reminds people in the developed world that less developed nations control our fate as much as we control theirs, which ultimately is a very good thing. Number 7 on my list is network gaming. Sure, network games have been around since Empire in 1973, but most people really hadn't been exposed to them until this decade. There are plenty of network games that came out in the 90s like Ultima Online, EverQuest, Warcraft, and Command & Conquer. But today, almost all new games have some network capability. The huge difference between classical computer games and network games are the other players. Fighting with or against another human being, even if they're on the other side of the planet, makes the game much more enthralling. Today, most console games, computer games, and even many cell phone games allow you to play with friends. Games have sprung up across the social media networks as well. This trend will continue until it will be hard to imagine a computer or video game that doesn't let you play with your friends. Number 6 on my list is the mass acceptance of cell phones. In 1997, there were 18 mobile phones for every 100 people in developed countries. By 2007, there were 97 mobile phones for every 100 people in the developed world. After resisting for the first few years of college, I got my first phone in 2001. Today, I think it is weird for someone to have a landline. Though there are some holdouts, like my dad, almost everyone I know has a cell phone. And having the ability to stay in contact on the run profoundly changes the way we make plans, what we consider timely arrival, and how we have conversations. Lest I forget how much texting changes the way I communicate. Number 5 on my list is digital, still, and video cameras. When I started film school in 1999, the best digital camera on the market was a 1 megapixel, and therefore it was no competition to film. Photography was taught exclusively on film. Today it would be crime to teach the same way. Almost every cell phone has a still camera, if not a movie camera. This allows each and every one of us to capture our lives, world events, and the comedic moments of others. This technology turns us all into photographers and filmmakers, and it lowers the cost of artistic creation to almost zero. One day, digital still and video cameras will spawn photo and video Mozarts and Beethovens that we really can't imagine today. Online or internet purchasing is my fourth on the list. Amazon.com had $1.6 billion in revenue in 1999. Last year, it had $19.2 billion in revenue. In 2001, online retail generated an estimated $31 billion, and by 2008, that number was $204 billion, and mind you, that was during a recession. The way we buy and sell things has forever changed. This drives the cost of things down. It allows anyone to sell nearly anything to nearly anywhere. It used to be if I wanted something, I had to go store to store looking for a deal. Now I barely ever go to the store. And if I do, I'm price checking everything over the internet on my phone while I'm in the store. While there is still a place for storefronts today, I have to wonder how much longer before they will be obsolete. Don't forget that basically no one buys music from anywhere besides iTunes right now. And number 3 on my list is online video streaming. When surfing for porn in 2000, I would never click on video links for fear of crashing my computer and messing up my rhythm. It was still photos only. Today, I'm not sure a photo could even get me excited, because I've been desensitized by the copious amounts of free streaming dirty video. YouTube was founded in 2005, but today it's the 4th most trafficked website in the world. It allowed anyone and their grandmother the ability to broadcast whatever they want to the entire world. Combined with cheap digital video cameras, this site will forever change the way we make and view video. The bar for broadcast has essentially been lowered to zero, and the bar used to be astronomically high. Hulu, Ninja Video, Ustream, and Netflix are also opening the gates to a TV-free world. I know many people who have stopped getting cable because they watch everything over the internet. If television in the classical sense is still around in 10 years, I will be really, really shocked. Number 2 on my list are social networks. Friendster was only born in 2002. MySpace was born in 2003. Facebook in 2004. Today, Facebook has more than 350 million active users, and that's more people than live in the United States of America. Through Facebook, I invite people to parties, I reconnect with old friends, I research business contacts, I stalk old girlfriends, and so much more. I check it every day when I wake up and take a dump. I check it when I'm getting slightly bored from my work. I just checked it right before I started making this video. I joined with much skepticism in 2008, but I have to admit Facebook shapes every day of my life when I'm in range of the internet. And there really is no going back. But my number 1 thing on the list is just completely astounding to me, and whenever I think about it, it's just totally amazing. The picture I'm going to flash on the screen is a side-by-side comparison of the top-of-the-line laptop I bought in 1999 with my iPhone, which I got in 2008. I wanted to compare the tech specs of both machines, only to discover that the iPhone is about twice as fast as the laptop. To be specific, the ThinkPad has a 333 MHz processor, 128 megabytes of RAM, and a 6.4 gigabyte hard drive. The iPhone today has a 620 megahertz processor, 256 megabytes of RAM, and a 16 gigabyte hard drive. The phone has network connectivity nearly everywhere, it has a longer battery life, it's a cell phone, and it fits into my pocket. The iPhone costs $200, while a laptop costs $1,900. And if I could tell my 12-year-old self that this was possible, he would have replied to me, yeah, and there are hoverboards in Japan. This advance gets top spot because it gives me access to all of the other developments whenever I decide to wear pants or shorts or anything with pockets. Where will we be in 10 years? Provided we survive 2012, who knows? But I didn't imagine really any of these things being possible 10 years ago, so really the sky is the limit for 10 years from now. I predict self-driving cars, quarter-size cell phone computers, and probably most importantly, artificially intelligent personal assistants. What do you think we will be capable of in 10 years? What technologies in the last 10 years have changed your life most? Please comment and let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to my channel.